In the year 2789, the galaxy was fractured into spheres of power, alien empires stretching light-years wide, with humanity struggling to keep a single foothold. Earth was considered backwater, its influence minimal after centuries of expansion and contraction. The Galactic Coalition, a union of over 20 dominant species, often referred to humans as the adaptable pests. But among all species, one name was whispered in hushed tones, a name more legend than fact: the Revenant, a ghost ship, supposedly of human origin, rumored to have turned the tide of entire battles before vanishing without trace. To most, it was a fairy tale. To the enemies of humanity, it was a warning carved in shadow. Captain Jareth Kale, of the Xeron Armada, didn't believe in ghosts. He stood tall on the bridge of the Zartuan, his warship among the 50-strong fleet, en route to obliterate the last human stronghold in the Eridani expanse. His orders were clear: total annihilation. No distress signals, no reinforcements. His second-in-command, Talivor, reported. "The humans are alone." Kale nodded. "Begin the burn. Let's end their species tonight." The fleet ignited in synchronized blue fire, cutting through the darkness toward their target. But just as the first human outpost came into visual range, something impossible happened. The stars blinked. Only for a second, but it was enough. A momentary blackout in local space, sensors fried, comms jammed. Then, silence. The kind of silence only vacuum could understand. When systems returned, one of the rear dreadnoughts' Sharnak's fist was gone. No explosion, no debris, just gone. Panic rippled across the command deck. "Sensor malfunction?" Talivor asked, her frills twitching. Kyle narrowed his eyes. "Get visuals." Immediately, the tactical screen lit up with multiple feeds. What they saw next froze blood in alien veins. It was a ship, dark, jagged, like it had been cobbled from nightmares and lightning. It moved without thrust. It floated without inertia. Its hull shimmered like fractured glass, never quite the same shape twice. The AI on Zartuan Otto tagged it. Designation UNKNO-WN. Origin human. Name Revenant. Cal's mouth went dry. No, that's not possible. And then it fired. There was no flash, no beam, no warning, just unmaking. One of their heavy cruisers crumpled like paper, folding in on itself before vanishing in a pulse of blue. Another was bisected cleanly, its halves spinning into the void. Reactions were immediate. Ships scattered. Shields flared. Weapons warmed. "Kill it," Kyle shouted. All batteries, focus fire. Dozens of plasma bolts, antimatter warheads, and graviton pulses shot toward the Revenant. All of them missed. Not because the ship dodged, but because it wasn't there anymore. It reappeared behind a formation of battle frigates, this time closer. One moment space was empty. The next, it was death incarnate. It carved through ships with a whisper of energy, its weapons defying physics and comprehension. Within minutes, 10 ships were gone. Then 20. Kyle watched in horror as his armada was decimated, and he understood this wasn't a warship. This was punishment. A comm window blinked open. A human appeared. Older, with silver in his beard and eyes like neutron stars. "This message is for Captain Kyle of the Xeron Armada," the human said, voice cold. "You crossed into human space. You threatened extinction." He paused. "Extinction is what we do best." Kyle's mandibles clicked in fury. "You dare threaten us with a ghost?" The human smiled. "The Revenant isn't a ship. It's an answer." The transmission ended. The Revenant split the Voktail Crusher in half. Kyle's ship was one of the few left. He tried to run turning engines to full, plotting a micro-jump, but just before the coordinates locked in, A tremor ran through the Zartuan's hull. The lights dimmed. Silence. Then came the voice not over the comms, but inside the ship. You feared ghosts. Now become one. The revenant enveloped the ship in tendrils of light. Not flame. Not electricity. Something other. Kale screamed, but the scream was never heard. Only wreckage remained. The next morning, the skies over the human colony of Enoch 7 were calm. Survivors emerged from shelters, expecting to see alien banners, or none at all. Instead, they saw a shape in the clouds. Massive, unmoving. The Revenant. It hovered for hours, then vanished into the stars. Historians would argue for decades whether it was the original human AI dreadnought lost in the AI war of 2431, or an experimental weapon, or something built by humans who had evolved beyond the stars. But to the galaxy, one thing was now certain. The myth was real. And humanity? Humanity was not to be provoked.